I don't think I understand Valentine's Day anymore. Valentine's Day pies and True Blood perfume. I think I'm doing Valentine's Day wrong. Right, let's talk about Valentine's Day then, because when this video comes out tomorrow, it will be Valentine's Eve. Is that a thing? Do people celebrate Valentine's Eve? They wait for the Valentine's, but I guess they wait for Cupid to come. You have to go to bed early or Cupid won't come. Valentine's Day is a weird one for me. Not least because wandering around Tesco, not only do I notice all the weird stuff. I mean, that Valentine's Day pies was not the weirdest thing I saw in there. It's, do you want Valentine's crackers, like Christmas crackers, but they're for Valentine's Day? So, I don't know, what do they have in them? A gift of some kind and a joke? Maybe? I don't know. Loads of those little rose petals or heart-shaped glitter. And there was almost a whole aisle in Tesco taken over Valentine's Day stuff. With the Valentine's Day pies and the vampire blood perfume, which the only reason I didn't buy it is because I couldn't decide whether it was for men or women, because I can just imagine the look on the face of any woman in the world if your Valentine's gift to them was vampire blood perfume. And I don't think that would go down very well, whereas I would think, vampire perfume, awesome, now I'll smell like Eric. And I'd like that, probably, but it was in a girly box. But yeah, I feel a little bit discriminated against because of Valentine's Day. Just to give you a little bit of background, me and Anna are what I would define as the forever engaged. We have been engaged now for 4.5 years. We're still no closer to setting a date for our wedding than we were when we got engaged 4.5 years ago. Whenever the subject is brought up, usually not by one of us, but by an outsider looking in, the response that is given is when we're skinny. So that's fair. I mean, that's pretty much code for never, because we have never been skinny since we met each other, and probably long before as well, during our adult lives. So that's not happening anytime soon. But that's the response that we give people. Well, that's the response Anna gives people. My response is whenever she wants, really. For me, I don't know. It's I feel like by going out and getting a ring and following Beyonce's advice, I liked her, so I put a ring on it, and that's enough claiming for me. I don't necessarily need a written contract to say I claim her. She's already got a precious metal around her finger, which acts as sufficient deterrent for other suitors. But I don't know, I guess the translation of we've been engaged for nearly 5 years and haven't set a date yet is that we did want a way to show our commitment publicly to people. And we did the big announcement to all our friends that we were engaged, and by that I mean we changed our status on Facebook and everyone liked it. But I don't know, for me, that's kind of enough. The ring was really expensive. Weddings are even more expensive. I hear weddings cost about £15,000 now. Now, I don't have £15,000. I don't see a time in my future where I'll ever have a spare £15,000. I'd like to think there'll be times where I have £15,000, but not a spare £15,000. There'll always be things that we actually need that will actively improve our life that we could spend that money on. Like, I could really do with a new car. It would be nice to be able to move house. We always need stuff. We're a family that loves stuff. There's always stuff that we want. I don't know, what's a wedding for? She gets to change her name, and then we get a piece of paper, and we're down 15 grand? I don't understand. But anyway, the reason I'm discriminated against is because when you are perusing the cards in Tesco, there's 3 massive things for men and women. I was looking at the ones from men to women. They're the ones appropriate to me. There was loads and loads that were for my wife. Loads and loads that were for my girlfriend. There was 1 card in the entire store that was for fiance. I'm not entirely sure which gender it was for either, because it was between the men and the women section, and I never know whether she's the one with 2 E's or whether that's me. So there's this one, and there wasn't one with 2 E's and one with 1 E. There was just this one card with 2 E's. So in the entire store, just the one fiancé card. It was rubbish. Bearing in mind, I would suggest engaged people are usually quite young. You don't get a lot of engagement in your 50s and 60s, but this looked like a granny birthday card. And it said, to my fiancé or something like that on it, and it was an awful card. I would never dream of buying this terrible card. But it was the only card in the shop that's appropriate. In the past, I've got her a card, I've got her a wife card, and then put on it in pen, almost. I think in the past I've also bought her one wife card, one girlfriend card, put them both in the same envelope and say, there you go, take the average of that. But, I don't know, as it stands right now, I haven't bought a card yet, because I resent having to buy 2 cards. I resent having to make an amendment, make an edit to the card that I buy. I just want there to be a card appropriate. And there doesn't seem to be one, and I feel discriminated against for it, so I'm going to go to a different shop. Tesco, you've let me down. I'm going to go and find Asda or Morrison's and see what they've got to offer. But I might make her a card. Girls like it when you make them a card, don't you? I might do that. But that whole... I mean, this wasn't supposed to be an episode about my marital status and discrimination of cards. I was supposed to be asking you all about Valentine's Day and what your thoughts on it are, because it's never really been a big thing for me. I've never ever gone out for a Valentine's Day date. It sounds horrific. Everyone's there. It's really busy. I don't like the sound of that. I don't like really busy unless it's busy with nerds. If it's busy with normals, no, I don't like hanging out in large groups of normals. So that's kind of ruled out. I've on and off got presents. I can't remember where we're currently at with presents. I think last year neither of us got the other one a card or a present, I think. I'm deliberately putting this video out the day before Valentine's Day so Anna can correct me if I'm remembering wrong and I can go out and buy everything that's needed. But I think neither of us got the other one anything, but then I went to Tesco later in the day. It must have been on a Sunday last year, that seems right. Went to Tesco about 3:30 before it closed, and all the bouquets of flowers and stuff were massively discounted, so I just came home with a bunch of roses for her that cost me about £3. She thought it was the best Valentine's present she's ever been given because I'd been money conscious and showed that I'm capable of making sensible financial decisions and making a loving gesture. And I think that got me brownie points, but I can't do that again this year. A, because it's on a Tuesday, so the shops don't shut until 10. I'm not going to the shop at 10:15, and the flowers will all be gone then, probably. But, I don't know. I need to work out whether we're in present land or not. I can't get anything off the internet because Amazon are idiots and have cancelled my card on my account because it expires at the end of February. And they're saying, well, it says February 2017, you can't use it anymore. So Amazon won't let me use my card. The bank won't send me a new card. So I can't use the internet because Amazon's the only shop I shop on the internet. Tesco have let me down. They're pretty much the only 2 shops I've spent money in for the last 10 years. So I don't know where to get her a card from, and I have no idea, A, whether I'm supposed to get her a present, and B, what present to get her. I'm at work all day tomorrow. We're supposed to be taking Sproglet to his residential thing on tomorrow night, so we've got to drive to Boston. And then, yeah, help me. Make use of the comments. Let me know what on earth I'm supposed to do now.